Alright guys, this might be something new, so, uh, I've been having this for a while, but I was recommended not to, but, I just wanted to do it, because I'm bored. I don't know any other video ideas, but today I'm going to be presenting to you about the M1A1 and A12 Abrams MBT. We're going to go through the history, the prototypes, the M1, the M, oh my god, the M1 and the M1A1/2 series and the foreign operators and their equipment and upgrades. So let's get this up here. So the Abrams had a very German history. It started with the MBT-70 project during the 70s, when the Germans and Americans began to work on a joint project titled MBT-70, which was a prototype to the M1 Abrams. I think I forgot to change that. I'm sorry. But um it was a attempt to make an MBT, a modern MBT for the Germans and the Americans before they separated and the Germans made their Leopard 2 series. So, and the MBT-70 was equipped to mostly fit, well, the Germans wanted it to fit in the European lands only, but the Americans wanted it to traverse on every single land it could go on. So after the dispute, they disbanded each other and they worked on their own MBTs, as I said. And some of the features that the modern Abrams doesn't carry on, or Leopards, is the hydrolymphatic suspension, which allows it to lower or raise the suspension on the tanks, which also makes it easier to aim and get lower positions so you're not easily spotted from a distance. It also carried a 152mm gun, which had the ability to fire the American Shillelagh missiles, which is a ATGM. The one feature that never made it that was like really good about the MBT-70 was the autoloader, but it would if you really think about it these days, autoloaders are very popular, but it does have a drawback. But yeah, here's some of the prototypes: the Chrysler and the General Motors. After the canceled project, and the U.S. decided to let Chrysler and General Motors to design a model to present to the Secretary of the Army. General Motors had an advantage with adding more armor, while the Chrysler had many problems trying to fix the fuel efficiency on the engine. Eventually, Chrysler was the winner, but GM was still wanted to present the turbine engine for the XM1, the first Abrams never seen combat, though. And now here we are with the M1A1. The M1A1 was the first all-American made MBT that will include a 122 L44 M256 smoothbore cannon, which can fire an assortment of shells, and was fitted with the Honeywell GT 1500 multi-fuel turbine engine. The M1A1 was able to go around 72 kilometers, which is 45 miles per hour. It was also the cheapest of the Abrams family, and there's some countries that used it, which are Egypt, Iraq, Morocco with M1A1 situational awareness, and Ukraine with also another situational awareness. Australia retired it and swapped it out for the M1A2 though. The M1A2 was an upgraded variant. The M2 was more customizable than the M1. With the amount of customizability, it allowed the MBT to have way more protection than the previous variant, and it had 3 different mods named SEP V1 to 3. There was supposed to be a V4, but it was canceled. And the operators are currently Saudi Arabia, Taiwan, Kuwait, and Australia. As you can see right here, extra armor, APS systems, which I'll get into later on. So here's a map of the operators, and if you look on here, top right, top left, it tells the what model they use. So like standard M1 Abrams, M1A1s are like in Egypt and Australia. Used to be. I think I forgot to switch this yet again. I'm sorry. I am really sorry, and I think I forgot about. No, Taiwan is right there. Never mind. So. And here's the equipment. Some of the basic equipment was the rounds, which was the 120 millimeter cannon and the M2 Browning machine gun. And the rounds were a assortment of M829 APF SDS kinetic dart shells, M380 HEFS shells, HEOR, which is not specified, so I didn't have the name for these, sadly. Which is it's almost like HE, but H and heat, but HEOR is an obstacle reduction shell, so it has a bit of of a different use than regular HE or HEAT. So it's better at taking care of like building walls or like any defenses that are up by infantry. HE is the regular HE shell, which is just high explosive packed into a shell. Canister shot is imagine as a shotgun, when you shoot a shotgun, beads come out. Think of that, but in a 120 millimeter cannon form. And then there's M1147 AMP, Advanced Multi-Purpose. I do not fully know about this one, sadly, but if you want to search it up, go ahead. But the loader does get uh, for their own machine guns. The loader controls the 7.62 millimeter NATO M240, while the commander controls the M2 Browning 50 cal machine gun. The gunner is able to launch smoke screens to supply cover from enemy fire, and he also gets his own machine gun, which is also the same machine gun as the loader gets, as a 7.62 millimeter NATO. Everyone in the Abrams is also supplied with an M17 handgun for protection, but only the commander and loader get M4 carbines. In different countries, they don't always get this. Like in Germany, they get like submachine guns. They don't get. Everyone is different. Sometimes they don't give them anything at all. So this is for the Abrams. I'm not 100% sure if they changed anything yet, because I don't. I'm not like I'm not a full War Thunder player who goes on and just steals documents for some reason. The upgrades. I won't be able to play this video, sadly, because it is copyrighted. So if you do want to watch it, I will link it down in the description. But some of the upgrades, if you remember seeing the M1A2 slide, you see that weird armor on the sides, which is called Tusk, an armor package for urban combat, which is like it's ERA, high explosive reactive armor. So explosive reactive armor would blow up on impact, causing the shell, such as like APFSDS, to have less of a penetrating chance to damaging the tank and the crew inside. And there, in NATO terms, there's also a APFSDS shell. I think Germany uses it the most, for all I know right now. And it's a specific type of DM53 that could negate the ERA effect, so it'll still penetrate even though ERA was in action. And tandem charge ATGMs are also penetrating shell, which is, think of it as, if you know APCBC, it's basically almost like that, where just it will shoot through. It's like heat almost. It's weird to explain. It'll shoot a line of spall into the armor and send it to the crew inside. There's also a mine plow that was also available to detonate mines as well. A mine roller, which is also another way to deal with mines. And in Ukraine, they put drone protection, which has two forms. There's There's bed frames, and then there's an advanced, more like costly, and you have to maintain system, which is a jammer, which will jam the drones and prevent them from getting near the tank. And as I said before, APS, Active Protection System, has two different modes. Not all of them have the two modes. Some of them only have one. So soft kill and hard kill. Soft kill will automatically launch a smoke screen towards the threat. Hard kill will launch fragments that will cause a missile to detonate before hitting. And then in War Thunder, if you play War Thunder, if you use something with APS like the Black Knight, if you're at a far enough distance, it could also disengage APF-SDS shells coming towards you, which is a true thing. So APS is like one thing that is really good about the Abrams, and many other tanks are starting to implement some sort of safety feature with APS. Either it could be a jammer, um, IR jammers. I think there's another one. I don't remember sadly. And there's trophy system, which is the one I was talking about, where they will shoot out fragments. And one more upgrade is the Crows system. That oops. That is a remote controlled heavy machine gun for the commander. He can control without having to pop out. But that's all. But thank you for listening.